Industrial engineering and management. Here, in this particular subject, what is that we are going to learn? Entire semester, all other subjects except this, of course, other than language and other ancillary subjects, most of the core subjects you will be learning about mechanical engineering or allied engineering courses, where you will be taught how to design a product, how to analyze a problem, how to solve a specific engineering problem. Whereas this particular course, industrial engineering and management, is something to do with your industrial aspect of engineering. What does that mean, industrial aspect of engineering? Let's say you have come out with an idea and made a prototype, and you find that product is working fine, and you wanted to convert that into a product that is sellable in the market. What are all the things that you do? First, you wanted to know whether there will be buyer for your product, whether there will be a buyer for your product. You think the product is good, you think the product has an utility, whether the buyer should think the same way, that you have to predict or forecast. Okay, so that's called demand forecasting. You have a product with you, maybe your brainchild or you have borrowed a child. You have a product, and that product needs to be sold in the market. First thing that we do is we check whether there is enough demand in the market. So your first unit talks about the microeconomics, just gives an overview of macroeconomics, not much. Then microeconomics, then talks about the demand and supply, determinants of demand and supply, elasticity of demand and supply, how to forecast demand, both short term and long term. All this are subject matter of first module. So when you have a product, you wanted to sell it in the market, the first thing that you do is demand forecasting. The knowledge of demand forecasting is crucial. Fine. I conducted a survey. I have learned demand forecasting techniques. I conducted survey or followed other methods. I already found a lot of demand for my product. So what else I do? Then I have to do some paperwork. What is that? I do costing and break-even analysis. What is mean by costing? So I have a product. This is made up of, let's say, 100 parts. 100 parts, 100 small parts assembled together made your product. Okay. So what are all the cost associated with each of the part? Will be the material cost, and you might have used some manpower or you yourself worked to make it. What is the cost that you would like to attach for fabricating that product? Is a labor cost. You might have spent your petrol to buy some items, you might have rented a building to make this product. All those comes under expenses, and there are other overhead costs as well. So you learn what are all the elements of cost associated with a particular product that's under study, and systematically arrive at the cost of the product. That means, to make this product, how much money that I have to spend in terms of cost. You do it. That forms the second unit. Essentially, module 2 talks about the costing. Also, it talks about break-even analysis. I have arrived at variable cost, fixed cost with respect to product, and now I wanted to decide whether I'll be making profit or not. If at all I will be making profit, to make profit, how many units I have to produce and sell, then thereafter I'll be making profit. I have two proposals, proposal 1, proposal 2. For example, I have two products. I can make product A or product B. Which product I will start manufacturing so that I will do break even faster? Means I will start making profit sooner. That kind of analysis is break even analysis. So costing and break even analysis comes as a second module for you. Just hold on for a minute, I'll be back. A lot of noise in the background. I'll give some instruction. Yeah. Um, Now, then I found there is a demand for the product. I have worked out the cost. I have also done break-even analysis. Now the product is profitable. There is a huge demand. The product is profitable. What else I do? Then I should start looking for the plant location where we can start the plant. So, if the product that we are going to manufacture does not require huge amount of special raw material, plant location may not be a critical factor. But if your plant is big, like coal plant, or it is an electricity producing plant, or if it is requiring large amount of water for processing your product, uh, if there are special requirements, then plant location is very important. Where you start your plant is a crucial factor. So how to choose a plant location is next subject matter that comes under module 5. Now I have chosen plant location. That means where I am going to start my factory, I have decided. I found there is a demand for my product. I did costing, I did break-even analysis, and found the product is profitable. I can make. Then I found out the plant location to make the product which is there in my mind. Okay, so third one is plant location. Fourth one is plant layout. So if I have to produce only one unit or 2 units or less than 10 units, maybe sitting at my home, if it is a small product, I will be able to make, or under a small shelter, I will be able to make. Whereas if I have to produce 100 per day, 1000 per day, then the activities or the processes, assembly processes or manufacturing processes that is involved have to be arranged in a particular fashion, so that I will be able to make more number in a shorter period of time. The transit time, work in progress time, all that can be reduced so that I can produce more quantity per day. For that, I should have a very good plant layout. What is meant by plant layout? For producing the product that we have in our mind, let's say it needs 5 different machining operations: drilling machine, lathe operations, milling machine, polishing machine, then some painting activity that you need to do after assembly. So you have to have a separate layout through which it will go through, so that it becomes a final product at the end. So in the plant location that you have identified, you make the layout using certain algorithms, certain tools and techniques that we will learn in the part of module 5. So in module 5, we will learn plant location and plant layout. Okay. Then your location is now ready. You have erected the machines. Now you start the manufacturing activity. You already found it is profitable, demand is there. Now you start manufacturing your product. When you start manufacturing your product, what's more important for you is the productivity. What is meant by productivity? In engineering term, you all will understand, whether you are second year student or final year student, you will be able to understand a term called efficiency. It's output power divided by input power. Okay. Whenever you use power as a physical parameter, and output divided by input, if you compute, you call it as efficiency of a machine. Okay, for a machine, suppose If it is a factory, it is not just power alone is output or power alone is input. There are a lot of factors involved. There are human factor involved. There is a manufacturing. There is a money involved. So many things of different physical nature are involved. So we cannot use technically a term called efficiency. For a factory level activity, we want to know how efficient the factory is. So we use a term called productivity. The understanding of efficiency and productivity is more or less same, but for a machine where we give some input energy, input power, and we get some output power, we can talk of efficiency. Where that is not the case, but I am interested in the performance of the factory as a whole, then we have to talk about productivity. Or for a particular department I have to talk, the term efficiency is not applicable, we talk about productivity. Okay, so productivity means what? I have a factory, I have produced so much output from that factory for the in the given period of time. I have spent so much of inputs. It may be input, maybe in terms of money, in terms of human effort, human resources. It can be in the form of raw material, plastic or iron or wood or whatever the raw material that you have. All that comes under inputs. The output may be the finished product that comes out of that. Okay, it will vary from company to company or factory to factory, but ideally these are all inputs and outputs. So total outputs that we have produced in a factory divided by the input will give productivity. Well, we have started the manufacturing, we identified plant location, plant layout. Now I am concerned about productivity. Why I am concerned about productivity? With minimal spending, we should be able to produce more. So output should be more with minimal effort, with minimal money, with minimal human resource and all that. So what are all the factors that affect the productivity and how to increase the productivity will be the subject matter of module 3. So that we will learn in the third module. To increase the productivity, we should know how much time it will take to do a product. Let us take an assembly operation. I have pen and cover, uh, a normal pen that you use. Okay, so that pen itself will have some 5-6 components if you carefully analyze. uh, at least it will have 3-4 components. You have a cap, you have dismantleable two parts of the pen. Inside there will be refill. Inside the refill there will be a nib. In the nib there will be a ball, and of course there will be liquid. That's the ink that goes inside. So many products go inside in an assembled fashion to make a product. For such a simple pen, if there are so many, for a product that you think in your mind, there may be so many products, so many components that go inside, and all of them needs to be assembled. So to do the assembly, how much time it takes to assemble one pen? Maybe one can do it in 5 seconds, one will take 5 minutes. So what is the standard time? Yeah, how do you calculate? Suppose I want 1 lakh pen in particular given duration of time. So how do you what is the expectation from your worker? So you cannot ask everyone to do at a very top high level efficiency. The skill level will vary from person to person, but you cannot leave it. Considering this fact, you cannot leave it without asking them. So you have to demand, gentlemen, you have to produce so many pens per day, then only 8 hours shift you have done reasonable amount of work for the salary that I pay. You should be able to tell them. For that, you should know what is the standard time that will take for an average person to do the assembly. You can expect average performance from any worker. Anything above you can appreciate, anything below the average performance you can penalize or do necessary counseling and ask him to perform well. Okay, for that you have to do time study. Okay, that is called time study. To assemble a product, to machine a particular component, how much time it takes, that you will use a stopwatch and follow a systematic procedure and find out what is time study. Before doing time study, you do something called method study. What is meant by method study? If you allow the workers in the factory to do a certain job, they do it in a particular fashion, but they may be doing some redundant operations. They may think it is okay, so what, something like that. But every second, every millisecond inside the shop floor is costing, okay, costing the owner. So owner has to pay the every movement, hand movement or every eye movement that worker is making. The person has to pay, the owner has to pay. So you do a method study where the unwanted operations or the sequence of operations can be made proper. Unwanted operations can be eliminated. The wanted, needed operations can be sequenced in such a way that a product can be assembled easily in the shorter period of time. So you study the method of doing the work and remove unwanted activity, arrange the required activity in a particular fashion, the best possible fashion, and that study you call it as method study. There is a standard procedure that we will be studying as part of module 4. So work study and time study are two important tools people use in the assembly and manufacturing industries to increase the productivity. Okay, generally what are all the factors affecting the productivity we studied already in module 3, and module 4 we will study how to we will learn not we will learn how to do time study and method study. So we have covered almost module 1 to 5. Now the module 6 and 7 talks about the specific tools and techniques that people use inside the shop floor. My factory is fixed, I have started the manufacturing, people go on manufacturing it already. It is more than a year I have been running. Now how do I improve my performance? Okay, group technology and cellular layout, machine part cell formation, that's a technique, then heuristic approaches. All this comes under your cellular manufacturing idea that we will learn in the 6th unit. And then at the operation level, MRP, material requirement planning. I have to produce, I have a big order, I have one and bit of huge quantity I have to produce of the product. How do I make so much of products getting fabricated, assembled in my factory? That you look at the 7th module, you have something called your bill of material. From the design document, important document is bill of material. So if you want to fabricate or assemble so many final product, what are all the products that you need to buy? That you make an order, buy it well before, get it QC, quality check inspected, keep only the required quantity in the store, take it from the store, assemble it, and then dispatch to your customer. So for that, do you have enough capacity for manufacturing? You studied under capacity requirement planning. Then whether you have all manufacturing machines required for that, you study under manufacturing resource planning. And of course all other techniques related for material requirement planning, you do it in the 7th module. So as a whole, to run a factory from, I think somebody has not muted. Can all of you please mute yourself? I'm hearing some noise. Krishna. Okay. Okay. So that's the overview of the syllabus. There is no specific textbook that you can really buy one textbook and then study this. As you see, the macroeconomics and microeconomics. Macroeconomics itself, you will find volumes of books in the library. Microeconomics is another book. MBA students study that as two different subjects, but we have to cover it in 4 hours or 5 hours. So we will cover only the bird's eye view. Costing, if you go to auditors section, costing is 2-3 volumes of books at least will be there, the on different aspects of costing and break-even analysis. So they're all subject by itself. So we have assimilated all those ideas and concepts, made it into one subject called industrial engineering and management. So naturally, you cannot ask me, sir, tell me one book which I can buy and keep it as kind of a reference book where I can study this subject. Okay, that's very difficult to say. But there are some local author books like Paneer Selvam or Paneer Selvam in the reference section too, where that professor has assimilated these information, compiled from various books and made it available in the form of notes. Uh, if you like to have such book, you can buy, but personally I will not recommend any book for you. Uh, Look at the topic, take particular book will be good for that, use that, and then go ahead with that. Okay, fine. So that's about the overview. Now is time for you to talk to me. You can unmute and ask something before we go on the next item. This is the time for you people. Now you can ask me something you feel like asking. I'm trying to locate next file to be screencast. What is the next file to be screencasted? Okay. I have now projected a Word file. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. So this file gives the syllabus copy, course plan, evaluation pattern, and model question paper. Okay. So this is the syllabus which I have already projected to you, and this is the lesson plan on lecture 1, lecture 2, what we'll be covering. That there will be some variation. It is not exactly one-to-one we will cover. This is the evaluation pattern that's more importantly I wanted to talk about. Cat 1, Cat 2 as usual 15 marks, and assignment 1, 2, 3 10 marks each. Before Cat 1 we will finish one assignment. Before Cat 2 assignment 2. After Cat 2 before term and assignment 3. Since there are many professors who are handling the same subject, we will discuss and then post the exact what is the assignment that we are going to give you in the coming classes. A final assessment test is 40 marks. Don't pay attention to closed book or open book, because now we are in a pandemic situation that may vary depending upon the situation. Okay, so it may that we don't know, no commitment as of now. Whatever is the mode prescribed by Dean Academics for the conduct, we will follow his instructions, and accordingly we will do the evaluation pattern. Okay. Final assessment is 40, and rest are all regular thing. They have not changed much. This is the model question paper. I think it starts from here. Model question paper. 10 into 10, 100 marks. So all are 10 marks questions, where each I think you will be given either 11 questions. Normally, I give 11 questions and ask 10 questions so that people will be able to get one choice and then do. For term and alone. For Cat 1 and Cat 2, no choice. That is the rule of VAT. We are not supposed to give. Some professors may give out of their own risk. That's not allowed. Fine. Now, all of you switch on your videos. I would like to see all of you